What's the difference between a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA? We've kind of already gone over it. In summary, Roth IRA, you pay tax in that tax year. You never pay tax on it again. You can pull the contributions out, tax and penalty free, but you cannot pull the gains out, tax and penalty free. Traditional IRA, you do not pay taxes in that tax year. You pay taxes as ordinary income tax. What you generally pay when you get your paycheck is ordinary income tax, ordinary income. You pay that way off in the future. Say if I retire in 2066 and I sell it and I pull my money out and I'm over the age of 59 and a half, whatever I pull out, I pay taxes on it as if I was getting like a paycheck. Ordinary income taxes. Roth, pay it that day, don't pay taxes later. Traditional, don't pay taxes that day, but I pay taxes way later. That being said, what is a Roth IRA? A Roth IRA is a tax benefit account. Roth, I believe, actually comes from the senator who wrote the legislation to create the Roth IRA. There's also a Roth 401k. I'm not sure if they're going to get into it. If you hear Roth, you're going to get this tax benefit. It's similar for the IRA and the 401k. If you don't know, a 401k is through your employer. A IRA, you get on your own through an institution like Vanguard. It's like a savings account at a bank. Similar, not the same, but similar in the sense that to set it up, kind of like an online savings account, you would just type in Vanguard, open Roth IRA, you give it your personal details like you would a bank, and it will create an account with an account number. And it'll say Roth IRA. And then you add money to that account. And then on that same app, you can go look for mutual funds and things like that. You can go find the Vanguard target date retirement fund, or you can find the S&P 500 index and buy them through that account. That's how you do it. What it is, though, is you pay taxes that day. But you never pay taxes again. So if I got $5,000 set aside after a year that I've been putting into my Roth IRA, let's make it $6,000 for simple math. If I take $500 a month for 12 months, at the end of the year, I'll have $6,000 in my Roth IRA in my Vanguard mobile app, invested in, say, the S&P 500 index. When I do my taxes, like on TurboTax, I will pay taxes on that $6,000. It's considered ordinary income, and I'll pay my effective tax rate on that $5,000. So once I sell it, or when I sell it in retirement, when I'm 60, 70 years old, I no longer pay taxes on that. All my taxes were paid that day. I transferred it into my Roth IRA and paid my taxes for that tax year. Excuse me, I'm so sorry for that. I get $6,000, and maybe I'll send it to my Roth IRA, or maybe I'll have like an automatic withdrawal where it will pull money out of my operating account and go into the Roth IRA. And when I go and file my taxes, my employer should have been withholding my taxes out of every paycheck. So I'll do my TurboTax as usual. I'll declare it there in TurboTax that I contributed this amount of money, and I'll pay taxes on that money in that tax year. And if I sell it in 2066 for way more than it's worth in 2026, all that gain, all that money is mine. I owe no money. And the same tax benefits go for the Roth 401k in your employer, from your employer. A lot of people don't know about the Roth 401k. They simply know the 401k, which is also called traditional 401k. Like if you get into the weeds of personal finance, you'll hear them referred to as traditional 401k, Roth 401k. Traditional IRA Roth IRA through a company like Vanguard, set up on your own, on a mobile app on your phone probably, set up by your employer. 4 different kinds of accounts. The traditional 401k is different than the traditional 401k is different than the Roth 401k. The traditional IRA is different than the Roth IRA. Okay, we'll get to traditional in a bit, I'm sure. I bet it's on this list. But when we're looking at Roths, you pay your taxes today. In this tax year, you don't pay it again. Traditionals, real quick, 401k, IRA, not Roth, just regular plain Jane 401k or IRA through employer and Vanguard. You don't pay taxes on it that day, but way down the line in 2066, when it's sold, you pay taxes on it as ordinary income. I hope that explains Roth well. What is a Roth IRA? Next question. Perfect. What is a 401k? So 401k, I believe like if you had the tax code right in front of you and you opened it up and you went down to section 401, that's like the section of, tax benefits through employers for employees to defer taxes today and pay it in the future. That's how 401k gets its name, I'm pretty sure. 401 section K, IRS tax code. I'm pretty sure that's right. Doesn't really matter. I'm so sorry for the coughs. 401k. I went over it a bit pretty well. It's just through your employer, a retirement account. You often elect it through like your employee portal to contribute a certain amount of money or a certain amount of percentage every month into a fund. Say a Vanguard Target Index fund, like Target Index 2055, the year someone plans to retire. And it takes care of the rest of selecting what they think is the right investments for you. So you have this 401k, and it might just take $300, $400, $800 out of your paycheck, every paycheck, and put it into your employee sponsored fund. It is different than the Vanguard in the sense that it's an employee portal thing. I will say 401ks typically have a match, so it's really good to get that match. Even if you know without a shadow of a doubt that you want to put your money in a Roth IRA, I really don't think it's worth it. Like if I had the option and I really wanted to go Roth IRA, I wouldn't do that until I've gone to my 401k, maybe ask the fund advisor or HR manager if I needed more clarity of how much do I need to put in to get the employer match and how much will they match to? And they might say 1%. Like, Brian, if you put in $500 a month, we'll give you $500 too. That's a bit of a lot. We'll use it anyway. It's just an example. But they're like, Brian, if you give $500 a month into your 401k, we'll give you $500. I'm taking that money all day, baby. Like 100% risk-free return day one is like unheard of in finance and investing world. It really only exists with the 401k match. They generally are like vested. Therefore, to keep that $500, I might have to stay with the company for 3 years or 5 years. So make sure you ask them as well, hey, when's my investment period where like this contribution is 100% mine? 401k through the employer. I'm not going to pay taxes on it in that tax year. So if I'm putting $500 in every month into my 401k, after 12 months, I'll have $6,000. When I go on TurboTax, it'll be on there still and I'll still elect it, but I won't pay taxes on it. I'm not subject to that tax in that tax year. It will reduce my taxable amount. So if I have $60,000 in income, that I'm going to pay taxes on by electing that, it's going to take $6,000 out and I only pay taxes on $54,000. But when I sell it way in advance, like 2066, whatever I sell it for is ordinary income tax. I'm taxed at that tax rate. Hope that helps. I really don't want to get too hung up on each topic because I'm going to be here for a while to get to 20 questions. I'm also going to give you the ChatGPT answer as well. An employer-sponsored retirement plan that lets you invest money for retirement, often with employer matching contributions. And for the answer, ChatGPT's answer for our first question, what is a Roth IRA? It's saying a retirement account where you contribute after-tax money and qualified withdrawals are tax-free in retirement. That's a really good point. So with a Roth IRA, going back to question 1, what is a Roth IRA? They're mentioning this tax-free withdrawal. Qualified withdrawals are tax-free in retirement is what it said. And qualified withdrawals are tax-free in retirement. Going back to that $6,000 example, going back to question 1 into Roth IRAs, because I know this gets confusing. If I want my $6,000 back, I can take it back at any point without penalty or taxation. So in year 2026, I've made $60,000, let's say, and I saved $6,000 and put it in my Roth IRA. And when I did my taxes on TurboTax or whatever that year, I elected that I put $6,000 into a Roth IRA over here, not with the employer, but on my own. I put $6,000 into my Vanguard Roth IRA. When I do TurboTax that year, I will make sure to elect, hey, I put $6,000 into a Roth IRA, and it will tax me on that $6,000. This is important because that money, since it's already taxed, is my money. So if I want what I put in, my contributions, that $6,000, I can take that out at any point in time, and there's no penalty, there's no further taxes because I've already paid taxes on it. This is a huge, massive difference than a 401k or an IRA. A traditional 401k or a traditional IRA, if you take that money out at any point before the age 59 and a half, you will be penalized. You will pay a penalty. You also will pay taxes immediately on the amount you pull out. So, Roth IRA has a huge advantage that if you ever need that money, you're able to take the contributions, and that's important as well. So hang with me for this one a little while longer, but if we had $6,000 that we paid our taxes on and put it into our Roth IRA, and let's say the market did 10% in that same year, and I made $600, right? I made $600 in gains in the stock market. So I have what I contributed, $6,000 plus my 600 in gains for a total of $6,600 total balance. What this will look like is $6,000 in, pay taxes on, can take it out at any point without penalty or taxes. $600 in gains. $6,600 total balance. So say in 2 years' time, if I, for whatever reason, don't have an emergency fund, say I had a massive emergency, was out of work for months, depleted it, whatever, no emergency fund, and I need to sell these investments to live off or whatever, and it has this $6,600 balance, If I take that $600 out, the gain, I haven't paid taxes on it yet. So I'm going to have to pay taxes on it. And that's not part of the deal with, what was passed by law. So I'm going to pay a penalty as well. Just like the 401k or the traditional IRA, if I touch the gains, anything above what I put in, anything above the $6,000 I put in, it's subject to penalty and taxes. So remember that. Also brings me to a further point of have an emergency fund first. That's why I said in the beginning, I would definitely have an emergency fund before going into a Roth IRA, because if I need money, I go to my emergency fund. I don't go to my Roth IRA because it's worth $6,600 in this example. But if the market was bad, let's say the market was bad that year and I don't have any gains at all. As a matter of fact, I have losses of $600. So I only have $5,400 in my account, and that's going to be a $600 loss total. So I lost $600. I only have $5,400, and I have no emergency fund, and I got fired because my company no longer exists because the market's crashing. I have to sell to survive and lock in that $600 loss. So it's another good reason to have an emergency fund, is to not have to sell stocks and investments and mutual funds in a market crash to survive. That's a long-winded rant. We're going to keep on moving and grooving because that was only question 2 of 20.